We've already had people emailing us about the Split 7-inch, the new release, and saying, when is it going to be on Spotify?
Mm.
They're like, off. Like,
Yeah.
can we try and sell it first and make some money?
Welcome. We are Neil,
Luke and Dave.
340-somethings, reminiscing on the runners and riders of 90s guitar music.
We look at the bands who soundtracked our youth on both sides of the pond and interview some of our heroes from the bands that defined a generation.
You'll hear about the good, the bad and the ugly of 90s guitar music.
This podcast is Stupid and Contagious. Episode 111 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast. This week we've got Jane and Annie on from Lungleg. That's coming later, so stay tuned for that. Before we get into the actual podcast, what's been going on? Dave, what's been going on?
Hang on, it is part of the podcast. This is the podcast.
Okay.
He's got a point, it's part of it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a big week. Big week for us. Liz is leaving home.
Yeah, he's flying the roost.
Man.
That's it, job done. He's gone.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man? Well, we've probably got a lot of viewers and listeners in a similar situation. How are you feeling?
I think it'd be a bit sad. A bit quiet in the house.
Yeah.
After he's gone.
Yeah.
He doesn't exactly make loads of noise, so does he?
Not really.
Yeah, quite well.
And he is your second favourite of your kids, isn't he? So
He's a favourite son.
okay, fair. Where did he go in here? Where's he going?
Warwick.
Oh, really? Has he got? Where's he staying? Has he got student digs?
Oh, yeah. Halls
of residence.
Pretty
Exciting,
sure.
isn't
Wonder
it?
wonder if it's the same place that Simon Mayo stayed. He's always going on about the halls of residence he stayed in when he was at Warwick.
I get confused
Really?
if there's pictures of him around. Do you think that Dave's still there?
If you turn up to drop him off, man, you're going to be mobbed.
You'll get mobbed.
How do you even know that about Mayo?
He's always talking about it. Something
When do you
flat-sickle.
hear
He
him
always goes
talk?
on about it on his podcast.
Has he got
He's
a
Mayo
podcast?
fan.
Yeah, it's a movie
I didn't
podcast.
realise you
with
like
Mark
Mayo
Kermode.
so much.
I like films.
No, that is a big one, though. That's a big life event, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Yeah.
30 years since we went, wasn't it?
Was
95.
Exactly 30 years.
Fucking hell, yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk it?
Feeling an echo.
Yeah, the 30-year echo. How's he feeling? Is he shitting himself?
No, no, he's looking forward to it, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Looking forward to getting up there and getting fucking stuck
Getting off his
into
head.
Do you remember how did you make your first friend? Do you remember?
Never made any.
No, you didn't. I was talking to Luke.
Yeah. Well, I was in like a student house, so, instantly 4 new people, right? And then a house full of lads 2 doors will get away. So just moving into that room, I met 9 people just moving into my room. Do you know what I mean?
So for you, it was like fresh meat situation.
It was exactly like
Yeah,
fresh meat
situation.
completely.
Like
It was
you,
exactly like that. 5 people in a house, yeah.
But
I
you,
was in
Dave.
halls.
Oh,
I was in
okay.
halls. I was sitting on my bed wondering what to do for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then
Jacking off.
there was a knock on the door. I was not
Were
in the
you
mood
jacking
for
off?
that now.
No, I guess you weren't.
You weren't in that,
Yeah.
apprehensive, wondering what to do. It's the last thing on your
Yeah.
mind, isn't that?
Someone knocked on your
Dunno.
door. Said
And
what?
who was it?
Yeah, and said, "Oh, do you want to come to the bar?"
Who was
Wow.
So thankfully, I said yes.
Yeah.
it? Right.
Did you hesitate?
No, I didn't. But you can imagine, some people might think, "Oh, I'll stay here for a bit," but you just got to go first chance.
You have.
You have.
Who was this
Luckily I
mystery
did.
door knocker then?
Yeah.
That was my friend Pete, who became quite a good friend, and Amy, who
Good old
didn't
Pete.
particularly become a good friend. But
Well, if Pete's listening, he's shaped your whole university life. Well done,
Yeah.
he
And
certainly did.
subsequent. You wouldn't be here doing this podcast if it wasn't for Pete.
Pete. Without Pete.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
he
have the
basically
confidence.
gave birth to me.
You wouldn't have met Vic, and if it hadn't been for Pete, you wouldn't have a family.
Yeah. All right then, Neil. What about you? How did you make your first friend?
I moved into like this. It was like an old mental home or something. All
But
the
they were
halls
still using
taken,
it when you were there.
and they're still building because the halls that I eventually moved into, they were supposed to be finished for when I started, but they were still building them. So they just sort of crammed us in wherever they could. And it was this old place called the Elms, which is a little bit out of town. Well, you're still walking distance, but right on the edge of town, of Farnham town. And it was a bit weird. I had to share a room, which was a bit weird first sort of time away.
US style.
Yeah.
Like in American films.
Yeah.
He was all right, but we weren't really we were never going to be best buddies.
And in contrast, in that first house where I moved in, my best mate Tom was one of the other occupants. So,
jeez, not that again.
There you go. And he was
Did you have
probably
a glory hole between your rooms, like in Fresh Meat?
Did you?
to watch each other. Yeah.
No, just to
Not
stick stuff through it.
To stick through. Right.
Yeah.
Did we do that? Yeah, we probably did a couple of times. Yeah. I mean, everyone did at university, didn't they?
Yeah.
If you say
Time
so.
for experiment.
It's not my best mate for nothing.
Oh, man. All right, so that's the Berwick news then, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Luke, what have you got?
Absolutely fuck all. Just the usual
I've got
reading
fuck all
a
as
load of
well,
books.
so-
Lots of reading this week. Reading books, listening to
I haven't even
music.
got that. I've literally got
I watched
fuck all.
the Synth Britannia documentary.
I've seen that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It seems quite old. I think it's on the BBC like
is
10
quite
years
old.
ago or something. It was good.
It's
It was
good.
great.
It's good, yeah. I like
When
that.
is it? From the 80s?
Yeah, it's about like how
Mainly.
it
Is that the
started.
heyday?
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s, basically. Yeah, it stops at like 85, something like that. Yeah, it's great.
good
Really good.
watch. I built a sink. I didn't build this sink. I put a sink in my van and it's got running water now.
Pretty good.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
The skills he's
Shower and
picked
a
up.
sink.
Astonishing.
Have you got a soap holder?
I haven't yet. No, well, we'll get one though.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll get one. I have to have one of those, won't I?
Guess so.
So I've been doing that. Mainly stuff on the van, work and stuff like that. Music, not so much, don't think.
We're listening to Shampoo as well last couple of days.
Have you?
Yeah.
Good, all
Do you
right.
know, brilliant. Yeah. Do you ever hear their cover of House of Love? E17's House of Love.
I think so, yeah. I think I did back in the day. I have messaged them trying to get them on, so if they are by chance listening to this, message me
Come
back.
on.
Come on.
Come on. Yeah. That's great.
Come on.
And they were on Food
must
Records.
be
I didn't realise they were on Food Records. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Home of
not a big
Blur.
deal.
Yeah.
There must be something I can talk about that's music related or something.
Talk about the fact that you didn't get a haircut.
And I need to. People can see that I didn't get a haircut.
It's still a bit Cliff
can't hear,
Thorburny.
It's getting there. I'm persevering. I'm sticking with it. So
Very Thorburn, yeah.
It is Thorburn, isn't
don't
it?
mind.
Yeah.
don't mind looking.
He
at
was
it
a
like
handsome
Cliff
fella
Thorburn.
back in the day, wasn't
He
he?
was. He was a heartthrob.
He was.
That's not an insult. Someone
Yeah.
did say I look like Kevin Costner the other day, but he's nearly 70, so that's a bit of an insult.
You do look a bit like Kevin Costner. You always have done.
But I'd like to think Kevin Costner, Prince of Thieves. I'm all right with that. Not
Right.
Kevin
The
Costner,
hair's getting there, isn't
70-year-old
it?
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
I
is
think
what
it's
your
somewhere in
hair's
between.
for. I'm going for Prince of Thieves, so that's the
You
end
stirred
goal.
up a blooming hornet's nest now, haven't you?
Dang me, he cleared it. That's the worst line, isn't it?
It's a great film, though, isn't it? It is a great
brilliant.
It's
film.
not dang, is it?
That's what he says, no? Christian Slater. That's what he says.
I thought you said, fuck me, he cleared it.
No, it's like, dang me, he cleared it. It's like really cheesy.
Oh, it is dang.
It doesn't fit at all.
Came, ashore, Seven Sisters, didn't they?
They did, yeah, right next to
Near
Seaford.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then very quickly moved up.
Because they go by that tree that was chopped down, don't they?
Oh, is that
really?
where they?
The
Yeah,
Sycamore
is that
Gap
where
tree.
is it?
Right.
Yeah. So they're in like East Sussex and then next frame, Northumberland.
They travelled quick in those days on those horses.
They did. Yeah.
They didn't even have horses, did they?
I think they would have done.
They just had
Just
those
walked.
coconuts doing that.
All right, so should we just get into this week's episode with Lungleg?
Yeah.
So if you are watching this, then please do get a thumbs up. Get involved in the comments and subscribe to our channel. And if you're listening, rate, review, and share it with your friends so that they can find our podcast. You can sponsor the podcast at Stupid and Contagious podcast at gmail.com, which brings us on to this week's sponsor.
Woohoo! Hey?
Isn't it?
Hey?
Right, so Dave is going to read out a little blurb from the band. It's a band that's sponsoring the podcast. So, Dave.
Driving on the Right are an alternative rock band based out of West London in the UK.
Come on, give it some heart.
Yeah,
I
come
am.
on. That was good. That was good. Keep going.
All right, carry on.
So let's start again.
Yeah.
No. Carry on.
Originally formed in early 2003, they draw inspiration from groups such as Senseless Things and GVSB. Who are they, Luke?
GVSB's Girls versus Boys.
Girls Against Boys.
Girls
Against Boys, yeah.
Yeah.
They built a reputation for blisteringly tight live shows, honing their talents, touring with the likes of Hell is for Heroes and High Tech Jet.
Right, early 2000s, right? Hell is for Heroes,
Yeah.
those kind of UK post-hardcore scene, right?
They were a branch
Good
off from
stuff.
Symposium, weren't they? Hell is for Heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
In the midst of this, a limited edition single was released, with the pressings selling out in weeks. A debut mini-album on Bravestar Records followed in 2005, prouded by...
Bring back the mini-album, I say. Bring back the mini-album.
Yes.
I love a mini-album.
Do it.
Produced by John Hannon. 100 Reasons, Kids Near Water. Life
There you
Starts Here was a huge sounding record and earned strong reviews, including 8 out of 10 from Metal Hammer and 4 out of 5 from Kerrang.
Pretty
confirming
impressive.
Driving on the Right as a force in the UK underground scene.
Yes.
Sadly, despite their initial success, the band announced their split in early 2006.
Why, guys?
Oh,
In
my
the years
God.
that followed,
Yeah.
it doesn't give any details.
No. But
In the years that followed, Nick, Paul, Lee and Jason all continued to perform and record music. Jason released a solo album, Sparks, while Lee collaborated with Mark Keds on several post-Senseless Things projects, including
Amazing.
Dead Cuts.
now you're fucking talking. These are hitting all our buttons, right? Yeah.
Definitely. Now, to mark the 20th anniversary of Life Starts Here, Driving on the Right are reissuing the album on streaming platforms as well as releasing a new single, Confidence, produced by Morgan Nichols from Senseless
Whoa.
Things
Hey.
Muse
Hey.
Here we go.
and
Friend
mastered
of the
at
podcast.
Contechnic Studios in Sweden. Confidence has brought DOTR full circle and reflects their enduring creative spirit and artistic growth. Of course, I should have said Driving on the Right, full circle and reflects their enduring creative spirit and artistic growth. While the band are choosing to not actively re-enter the live arena at this moment, their music
Right.
continues to inspire the UK alternative scene, and this reissue offers fans old and new the opportunity to rekindle their love affair with Driving on the Right.
There we go. Well read, Dave.
Has
Well
Luke got
done.
a review?
Loads of 90s references in there, right? Loads of 90s
Yeah.
references. So
Yeah.
I'll just give you a brief. So Lee is the guy that contacted me. We've been chatting on and off for a while. Because he was friends with Keds and did loads of work with him. He sent me loads of sort of unreleased stuff that I haven't put out. 'Cause
wow.
I'm not really sure if I'm allowed, but I will do at some point, I think. But it's stuff he did with Keds and and then so this is happening. So he said, "Yeah, I'll sponsor an episode of the podcast. It's out. It should be out when this goes out. It should be out today. That this is going out, and I'll
Yeah.
put a link
Okay.
in the show notes.
Get on it,
But yeah,
people.
Luke, you had a listen.
I did have a listen. Great. Loved it. It's interesting. Like it said, Senseless Things, but to me, it's much more of like Three Colours Red sound.
Yes,
it
I'd
sounds a lot like them, basically. It's great.
Bit Three Colours
much
Red.
more rock.
I put a bit sort of Funeral for a Friend in me. Those
Yeah,
sort of
I'll give you a
bands,
bit of that.
you know.
Yeah, bit of emo in there. So it's interesting that they had the Metal Hammer and the Kerrang reviews, right? Because that's kind of a bit more of a natural home for them than Enemy or Melody Maker or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, great.
big sound, isn't it?
Great.
It's a big old sound they got there.
It is, and it's a good
Sounds
good
really well
rock
produced.
voice as well. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, and they got Morgan on the decks doing the production and stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, well, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he? So,
Well,
yeah.
hopefully they'll get out and do some live stuff. We can go and watch them. But otherwise, you're just going to have to put up with just buying their record at the moment. So we'll put a link in the show notes. Go
I want to
and
hear more
help them out.
songs. I couldn't find anything of the mini album or anything like that. I tried
Oh,
online.
there's not
so.
much around. So yeah, Lee, get some stuff up there. We can post it in the Facebook group. People could go and have a listen. But thanks very much to the sponsors of this week's podcast, Driving on the Right.
There you
go.
Nice one.
Last minute sponsorship alarm. I haven't got an alarm, so...
Ding, ding, ding. Ding.
There you go. So we've had a new sponsor coming for this week's...
You could just say the word alarm, like in Ted Lasso, where Roy Kent just says whistle, because he can't whistle.
Well,
he just shouts the word whistle.
Go on then, shout alarm.
Alarm. Yeah. Go on.
Right. So after we recorded this week's episode, we got another sponsor. So we're going to get them on into this week's episode because one of their events is coming up quite soon. So that being said, the Royal Whitby Hotel, I think they're called Royal Whitby Events, the company, is sponsoring this week's podcast, and it's a hotel
Brilliant.
in Whitby. The clue's in the title.
Yeah, where is Whitby?
It's on the coast. It's right. This hotel's right on the coast. So if you stay there, you've got like sea views and stuff. It looks really nice.
The coast where?
What county is it?
I don't know. You two are the geography fucking nerds.
Dave's the geography lord.
I'm getting mixed up with Whitstable, I think.
Yeah, I think I might be.
Which is in Kent.
I'm having a look now. Well, it's made famous by the Cud song, Only a Prawn in Whitby, isn't it? That's the point.
That's true.
They don't mention the county, though, in the song.
They don't.
So it's
how can we not? How can all three of us not know where Whitby is? It's really pathetic.
It's sort of above Leeds on the coast.
I knew it was.
Further up.
Yorkshire. Is it Yorkshire then?
I don't know. Don't know counties or anything. Yeah.
It's near the North York Moors National Park. That looks nice.
Looks lovely. Looks lovely, doesn't it? It's nice going just for a weekend. But
near Robin Hood's Bay. That's nice as well. Yeah.
Not only do you get to stay at this exclusive hotel that's right on the cliff tops. Looks really nice. But they're putting on events as well, and some really good ones. So
why is it exclusive? What's exclusive about it?
Well, I don't know. I just thought I'd say that.
Don't.
Okay, I've retracted it.
It's an inclusive hotel. It's not an exclusive one. Everyone's welcome, man.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's welcome. Yeah, so on the 4th of October... Well, Luke, do you want to tell them what's happening on the 4th of October?
Well, on the 4th of October, there's we got Cud. There you go. Playing at the Royal Whitby. Only a prawn in Whitby. Do you reckon Morrissey's going to be there again, eating his prawns?
I hope not.
That was the premise of the song, wasn't it? But it wasn't actually Morrissey. They thought it was him, but it wasn't.
I don't know if he'd be welcome at the Royal Whitby.
I mean, they are inclusive, so he probably would
inclusive.
Be. Yeah,
I think he would. Yeah.
But, Dave, hold on to your hat. Not only Cud, also Miles Hunt, friend of the podcast. Previous guest.
Yes, friend of the podcast.
What do you reckon to that, Dave? Are you amazed?
Yeah. Who else?
But, well, it doesn't end there.
Well, go on.
Also, friend of the podcast, Ultrasound are also playing at the Whitby Hotel.
All at the same night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible, right?
It's great, isn't it? But
Brilliant.
Not only that, there's two other acts, isn't there, as well? There's a local band, I think.
There's one called British Birds.
Yeah. I think they're a local act. And then there's one that's like a split off from Cud.
What's Broad Street, Dave?
It's a band a bit like Main Street, but from Whitby.
Right, the Main Street cover band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to about 10 seconds of British Birds before you kind of sent the link for me to join. It was good. It's good. Kind of just kind of indie kind of like that kind of style, basically. Like Cud, kind of indie, jango, a bit psyche. It's kind of cool.
This is a great way of doing it, especially for people our age. You get to stay at a hotel, nice comfy bed, and you can go and watch some great bands as well. And it's all sort of you pay for the whole thing. Sort of. I don't think you have to stay there to go, but the package is great. And if you go on a link that I'll leave in our show note, 10% off the accommodation and all that stuff. So
do they have a golf
course? Good way of doing it. What?
Have they got a golf course attached to the hotel?
Not sure. But I'm sure...
Is that a deal breaker for you, Dave?
No, I mean, it'd be nice if they did. You could get up after the gig the next morning and have a round.
Shoot a few holes.
Round of golf.
Yeah.
No, but I'm sure Whitby's got a crazy golf course or something. It's got to have, hasn't it?
Yeah, you would have thought so,
You could do in Whitby. Loads of stuff. But yeah, no,
Eat prawns.
I just think it's a bit like those weekenders at Butlins. It's just a good way of doing it. You go and stay there. And
that is a
like-minded
fucking good
people.
lineup, isn't it? Cud, Miles Hunt, and
Yeah.
Ultrasound, all on the same bill. That is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yeah, so that's really good. So that's coming up on the 4th of October. But that doesn't stop there. 18th of October, we've got Dan and John from the Levelers. So I went to see the Levelers recently, and these guys are on form. Just the two of them. So I don't really know what you're going to get, but be good.
Yeah.
Is it
I
just
don't
a
know, really
didgeridoo
done them
solo?
justice there.
Yeah.
What?
It's the didgeridoo player and the dancer. You're just going to get a didgeridoo solo.
I'd pay for that anyway. I like it.
Yeah. That'd be great.
So that's coming up, similar sort of scenario. Then there's a Ska Mod Weekender on the
I'd be up for that,
7th,
man.
8th of November.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a bit of Ska and Mod. So that'd be good. Does it say who's playing on that one? I can't.
I couldn't see any details, but yeah.
No. But no, that'd be a good one.
Have they got a spa?
See, Dave's asking all the questions.
Dave's you're supposed to be promoting the gigs, man.
No.
He just wants to go and stay at the hotel,
Yeah.
which does look nice.
Put his feet up, play some golf, get a massage.
Right. This one's good. So on the 5th, 7th of December, there's one called Krampus, which is it's like a bit goth-like. But the reason it sort of drew my attention, they got like a Nine Inch Nails tribute band playing, which would be good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
like to, I would love to see Nine Inch Nails. So
And they're a
Maybe
UK
it's-
band, a UK Nine Inch Nails
UK
tribute band, right?
band, yeah. But there's loads
Yeah.
of other bands playing as well. It's like a bit sort of a goth rock sort of weekend type thing. Krampus.
Brilliant.
That's like the
Krampus.
it's a film, wasn't there? It's like a
Dave,
Christmas
you're
sort
Swedish.
of
You know all about that kind
devil
of
thing,
creepy
innit?
Christmas shit.
Christmas devil bloke.
I don't know. Krampus.
I think
haven't
Christmas
heard of
Devil
it.
Bloke is right. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a film, Krampus. It's a Christmas devil bloke.
Yeah.
Talking about Christmas, we've also got Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Television.
Is there,
This one
Dave?
looks pretty good.
Christmas.
Hey, if you should go to this. Take your missus. Take the family.
Yeah.
It's the Television package. But this looks really
a
good. So
package?
for 199 quid, 199 quid, check this out. You get your admission. You get a Television T-shirt per person, signed album, and a standard double room for 199 quid.
You
Nice.
can't
How
argue with
much
that,
is
can
it
you?
without the t-shirts?
Why don't you want a T-shirt?
I just wanted
have
to
to
see
wear
if
a
it was
t-shirt.
any cheaper.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get
Always.
the price down.
Always finding a way, isn't he?
I know.
No,
He's
that's a
hustling.
good, that's a good deal. Is that
good,
for
isn't
4
it?
people?
Yeah.
Well, I
Two
don't know.
people. Standard
Two
How many
double room.
people can you
Yeah.
cram into a double room? I guess it's just
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. Have a romantic weekend away with the missus, Dave. Whip her
Yeah.
up to Whitby. Yeah.
I know they're adding new events all the time, but the only other event, this isn't till 2026, but there's the Whitby Darts Open. Dave, you'd probably like that as well, wouldn't you? You like a bit of bullseye.
Yeah.
10th, 12th of
Yeah.
July. So there we go. Another sponsor for the podcast. Thank you very much, Royal Whitby Events. Yeah, we keep
What
you
about the
updated
other
with what's going
sponsor
on
though?
with
If you
those.
just bump them from the show?
No, they're still there. We can have more than one. We can have 15 sponsors. The whole show could just be sponsors. That people probably enjoy that more. So there we go. This week's other sponsor, Royal Whitby Events. Thank you very much. Go and check them out.
Cheers.
I'll put a link in the show notes. Go and check them out and go along to one of those events. Try to get along to a couple of them myself, I think. Dave, Television, you up for it? We get double room.
Oh no, I couldn't share a room with you, mate.
No.
Be horrible.
It would. It's no. No.
A T-shirt.
If we get a room each, I'll go.
Pay double to get away from Neil.
All right, fair enough. Lungleg.
Okay. Do we have a Wikipedia description?
Oh, hang on. This is actually spontaneous because I'm never ready to do this.
Somehow you never remember.
I know. Hang on. Lungleg. Can't be many Lunglegs around, can there?
There'd probably be the person that they're named after is probably also on Wikipedia.
They're a Scottish pop punk indie band.
Yeah, I guess so. Not so much punk, but yeah, indie pop, I would say. Riot Girl adjacent indie pop, basically. Yeah, they're called Lungleg, which they're named after. There's a model actress who called themselves Lungleg.
Yeah, because it's I don't know, an uncomfortable word for me, Lungleg. It's a bit. I'm trying to imagine
Juxtaposition
it.
of lung and leg. But that was that's the person's name, real name, Elizabeth Carr. If you've ever seen
Imagine having a lung in your leg, though.
lung leg, yeah.
Don't grasshoppers have lungs in their legs?
They've got ears on their knees, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. That's probably what I was thinking of.
Similar.
Go on, tell us a bit more about this.
If you ever seen the cover of Sonic Youth's Evil album, it's kind of like got like a black cover and like a yellow swirl. There's a black and white picture in the background with like a woman like that. That is Lungleg.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that Lungleg video?
Yeah. That's her.
With that woman with a snake.
That's her.
Is that... I've forgotten their name.
Medusa?
Jane. What are they called in Lungleg? Jane and Annie. Yeah, was that Annie in the video with the snake?
What video with the snake?
Dave's been watching.
It was really weird and like arty.
You've been watching
don't
porn?
know.
And
the
woman was chewing on something, and then you realise it was a snake.
I think you might have watched
I haven't seen it.
stuff.
Pretty good, but I couldn't work out if it was Annie or not.
Okay, well, if you're watching Annie, let us know. Are you eating snakes? Yeah. Named after her, basically formed late 93, early 94 in Glasgow. Interesting, right? I was talking about this to the Scottish bloke the other day, how all of these bands were from Glasgow rather than Edinburgh. Edinburgh's should be the bigger place, right? But all the bands that we've spoken to, Biss and Uresa Yetsura and Mogwai, all from Glasgow, all from that scene.
Yeah,
Well, Glasgow is bigger population-wise.
Is it?
Such a huge scene, though, right? We talk about it quite a lot, but yeah, such a Dave said there was no scene in Scotland, but
Exactly. So, original lineup, yet today's guest, Jane Egypt and Annie Spandex on bass and vocals and guitar and vocals. Someone called Momo on guitar and vocals. Yep. And someone called Jade Green on the drums, who later got replaced by an early menswear drummer called Todd. Basically, they came up in the same scene as the people that we just mentioned, Uresa Yetsura and Biss and everyone from the 13th Note. We talk about it in interview, though. I won't talk too much about it. Alex Kapranos and all of that, which basically created this scene, right?
Yeah, he pops up quite a lot in that scene, doesn't he?
He really does. Released a couple of EPs in 94 and 95. Negative Delinquent Autopsy. It's a good name for an EP, isn't it? Sounds like a death metal or something, doesn't it? The Negative Delinquent Autopsy. Really super short pop songs, even shorter than on the album, like 1 minute 30, kind of, really super short tracks. And another EP called Shag with 2 Gs, Shag the Tiger, in 95. They got put together as a 10-inch on one of my favourite labels, Kill Rock Stars, US label. They did a Peel session as well around this time, basically picking up a bit of publicity and all of that. They supported loads of cool bands that we like. So supported the Yummy Fur. She mentioned in an interview, Jane, that her brother was in the Yummy Fur, which I didn't know at all. That was Alex Kapranos' kind of first band before Franz Ferdinand was the Yummy Fur.
Yeah.
Previous guests, Biss. Previous guests, Uresa Yetsura. Previous guests, Corner Shop. They supported or played with or toured with all of these, as well as pod favourites, Bikini Kill,
We're weaving
Sonic
our
Youth.
musical web together, aren't we?
Exactly. My favourites, Fugazi, and we talk about it a load in interview, but also the makeup featuring the main man, Ian Svenonius. So they toured the whole of the US, toured around the US with the makeup. So unbelievable. And they released a split single with the makeup as well. And they released their first and only album, Maid to Minx, got it behind me, in 1997. Yeah, split up in 1999. They reformed in 2021. They tell the story in the interview, and it's quite a nice story, so I won't go into it.
Yeah.
And they got a new lineup with Jane and Annie and Paul from Franz Ferdinand and a couple of other new ones, Simone and Hando. And as she explained, they got a new split single coming out very, very soon with a new band with 2 members of Huggy Bear called Unmarry Me. And sounds great.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dave, did you
Is
have
there a
listen
new
to
album?
Lungleg?
Isn't there?
No, there's a new single.
album?
It's a new split single that's definitely coming out and it's recorded and everything. But there's not a new album, no, not yet.
So what is the album?
The album is the one that was released in 97, Maid to Minx. M-A-I-D,
Oh, yeah.
Maid.
Oh, yeah, I've been listening to that, but
It's the one behind
his
me.
face.
On the dreaded Spotify, it's marked as 2022.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Right, no, it's 1997. And then I think the 10-inch is also on Spotify, the Hello Sir 10-inch that was released on Kill Rock Stars, which kind of their earlier stuff.
But the headline track really jumps out, I think.
The first one.
Made to me. Yeah,
the title track. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I listen.
So did you two know them before?
Not really,
I
I
didn't.
to be honest. Not as
Yeah.
cool as you, were we?
No, I guess so. Yeah.
Did you get into them through Biss, or was it before?
Yeah,
Biss?
basically.
say,
I don't know if it was Bits especially, but the whole of that scene I was into. So yeah, it would have been through that, basically.
Yeah. I think what was I listening to in 97? Probably The Verve. Sort of normal, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Dave was listening to Top Loader.
They didn't exist, did they?
They probably didn't, did they? Not
Actually, no, I was quite cool. I was going to sort of, because I was hanging out with my mate's mate who worked for Infectious, so I was going
I
to
thought
see
you were
Ash
going
one
through
night.
your house
like
music
that.
phase.
Yeah, he
in
claimed to have
97.
gone through.
As well. I did.
Yeah,
Go
same
for
as
a
your
bit of a
goth
house
phase.
music phase. I go for a lot of phases. All right, so shall we have a listen to the interview and then we'll come back afterwards?
Yeah.
Here's Jane and Annie from Lungleg. Enjoy.
Thank you so much for coming on. How are you? Where are you? Can you tell us?
We're both in Glasgow in our homes.
Okay. And well, it's all happening at the moment, right? For Lungleg. What can you tell us about the new single and everything?
Go, Jane.
Okay. Well, we've got our first new release, and I think it's 27 years. So
Wow.
no
Yeah.
big deal at all there.
Sure.
So it's like no pressure whatsoever. So we're releasing it on it's a split 7-inch released on a split label. So
Yeah.
it's a label called is it Soul Static Sound? I always get the three words mixed up.
Yeah.
Soul Static Sound.
Eros Hot Wax and Depth's label too, which I can't remember.
Yeah, so it's a split
What's a
7-inch.
good one?
It's a split 7-inch on a split label. So one side is our song, and the other side is with a band called Unmarry Me, which is actually John and Chris from Honey Bear.
Yeah.
So we had because they had their book out quite recently.
I bought a copy. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not got one yet. So I think Monowheel was trying to get them to come up to maybe do some signings or something, but I'm not sure if they were able to. And then we just got in contact because we could choose who we wanted to share the split with.
Wow.
So I just thought it would be really fantastic to like go back and do it with like people that we knew from the past. So they formed the band Unmarry Me to do the split, which is a fantastic thing. And we recorded it. And we have Laura Logic from X-Ray Specs and Essential Logic sax on it as well.
Nice.
Flying the flag for the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's first song's called Girls, and it's just an exploration of like the sort of music world and a sort of post feminist approach to it, like how it tried to examine how or if it's changed in the last 30 years since we were doing Lungleg.
Oh God, I mean, without going too deep too quickly, are we in a post-feminist world?
Well, I wouldn't say a lot's changed. There's a perception.
Find out what it's about.
I think there's a perception to people that everything's okay now and we're all equality rules, but I certainly don't agree with that or feel that.
Yeah.
You just have to look at any festivals and there's still not enough representation of women on the bills, and yet there's thousands and thousands of women making fantastic music. So even if you look at that shows you that not a lot has changed.
Yeah. Interesting. And music-wise, is it same old Lungleg that people remember from back in the day?
I think it sounds like Lungleg. It sounds like there's like me and Annie are the two original members in the band. And then we've got Paul Thompson on drums. Paul was the drummer in Franz Ferdinand, and also Jennifer and a million projects he does. And he was around us from the almost beginning of Lungleg anyway. And then we've got Simone Antigone, who is an artist in her own right. She does a lot of music. She was in a hair band, does her own solo things. And we've also got Hando. Hando is in a band called Water Machine at the moment, and they're doing quite well. So it's a formation of, it's the five of us writing together. So in that way, everyone writes their own parts, everyone contributes. So in that way, it's very much like Lungleg anyway, because that's how we always wrote.
Yeah.
So, and it's bizarrely, I think if you hear it, I think it sounds like Lungleg.
Great. That's really exciting. Yeah. Why now?
Annie?
It's a combination of things, partly lockdown. Of course, you know, people were stuck at home. Jane and I were both working throughout lockdown. And our friend who originally hand screen printed our t-shirts back in the 90s didn't have enough work, so she was clearing out her studio and found some of the old original, I don't know what you call them, the proper term, but what she'd used to screen print our original t-shirts, and got in touch with Jane. And Jane's like, oh wow, look at this, I never got a t-shirt. We both don't have t-shirts. They went AWOL. And I think they'd gone into exhibitions and things, and we never got them back. The usual kind of stories. So selfishly, we were like, oh, I'd love a t-shirt for myself. And then that went on to us starting Instagram, I think, really, and Facebook. And from there, people were like, oh, I want one. And that kind of just started the ball rolling. Do you want to say a bit about the next bit, Jade?
The next, again, it's like I thought about a long process. Yeah, we started Instagram, started selling t-shirts. Then we started thinking, we had maybe thought about maybe re-releasing the album or something. I think me and Annie maybe discussed it. It was sort of people were showing an interest. And then as we had been formulating that, a label called Last Night from Glasgow, which is named after the ABBA song, Super Trooper, which is that line. If you're from Glasgow, everyone loves that line in the pub. When I saw you last night from Glasgow, called you last night from Glasgow. So Ian contacted us and asked us if we would be interested in re-releasing the record, which would take all the pressure financially off us as well. And we agreed to do that. And then we just had to seek out the actual reels and all the recordings from Southern Records, which we actually managed to track down, because that's no more. That was run by John Moder. Down in London, they were mainly a distributor, and so then the record was being released, and then it was suggested that we play a gig to celebrate the release. So then we thought, okay, well, we'll get a band together. We asked the members, originals, who could do it. Todd was going to do it, but we needed a drummer to stand in, because ironically, he was on tour with Franz Ferdinand doing their a bit of tour management. So we got Paul, who used to be in France, to sit in for him on drums whilst Todd got ready. And then Todd really wasn't able to do it, so Paul, and obviously he wanted to, Paul played the gig with us. And we recruited the two new members. And then we played the gig, and everyone really enjoyed it. And then it became this sort of thing like, well, why don't you do more gigs? Why don't you release a new record? So it's just kind of like,
yeah, snowballing, right? Yeah.
All basically. So we're here now, basically.
And how does it feel? How does it feel to be back?
It's great. Great. It's just really nice meeting people from back in the day, all coming back. But also, importantly, there's like all the next generation. So it's really nice that the gigs are multi-ages. We've only played a couple of, all ages gigs just because of venues, but we try to do that where we can. But it's so nice to meet younger people who've managed to track down your music, obviously through digital platforms and everything now, which weren't available back in the day, so it's lovely, actually. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, it's great. That's great. All right, let's step back in time then to all of our youth. Can you talk about getting into music and putting the band together and stuff like that?
Well, the band initially formed from a band my first ever band I did when I was about 17, was called Snagglepuss. I played bass in that band, and then I joined like some boys I knew formed it. We all formed it at the same time. Anyway, eventually all the boys that were started the band with me all left because they just maybe realised they didn't want to be in bands. And Annie had joined. So when we broke that band up, me and Annie decided to start a new band together. It wasn't for me personally, it just wasn't the music we were doing just now because wasn't what I was interested in anymore. It was quite sort of agile, sort of punk, noisy, quite Lydia Lunch, Teenage Jesus, and I kind of felt like, me personally, I felt I'd grown out of that. I wanted to do something a bit more melodic, a bit more tuneful. And then we recruited Maureen, and then we recruited Amanda, who went to stage. So we kind of found ourselves in an all-girl band. But I don't know about you, Annie, but I can't remember if we actually said we only wanted girls or if it's just naturally what we did. I don't think we had that conversation, did we, Annie?
Oh, I think it kind of naturally happened. I mean, I had played in an all-girl band, like Jane was in a band before Lungleg called We Are the Men. It was all girls and quite arcade punk. And played a lot in Glasgow with the Glasgow Music Collective, which was the punk agit, as Jane's saying, that noisy, not all of it, but, so you got to play some great bands back then. And I joined Snagglepuss, and then I played violin, so kind of inspired by the Raincoats and stuff, and We Are the Men, but swapped to guitar for Jane's band and lied and said I could play. Got my then boyfriend at the time to teach me some chords from the Ramones, 3 chords, Got a distortion pedal. So it was good, it was noise punk, because then you can get away with stuff like that.
Sure.
And then I think by the end of Snagglepuss, I had learned to play a wee bit. And I think that's, as Jane's saying, we're like, let's move away from that and see what happens. We took a couple of songs. So Eek was originally a Snagglepuss song. And we had something to start with. But as Jane said, it wasn't really a real conscious decision. But I do remember we went to see a band called Cotton Gum, and Amanda was drumming, and you're like, oh, she's good. She's in Glasgow. We'll get her in, So it's stuff like that just naturally happened because Glasgow has always had a fantastic live music scene.
I'm going to ask about it in a moment, but before that, you mentioned the Raincoats. Who else were you listening to that you kind of wanted to move into that kind of sound?
Well, for me anyway, I worked in a record stall, so I was really lucky back then that it was like people would come up, swap records they didn't like, or they would buy stuff and say, this is crap, I want to swap it, or buy stuff and whatever. So there was a guy 10 years older than me, Stephen, that ran the stall that I worked for, and he'd be saying, you'll like this, you'll like this. So he's like the Raincoats, Young Marble Giants, early Rough Trade, Lilliput, Kleenex, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of stoked the fire and you were like, oh, these are great. So I think you just absorb stuff. I don't think we consciously went, we want to sound like this, because you just played how you could play. What do you think, Jane?
Well, I think the American Riot Girl stuff was starting to seep in as well. I remember really liking like the Kevin to Betsy and Bratmobile split 7-inch. I absolutely adore split 7-inches. I think they're the best 7-inch put out. So that came in, obviously Bikini Kill. So a lot of the Riot Girl stuff was seeping into a sort of vocabulary, but I really wasn't listening to it at the time as that's like Riot Girl. Like I don't think it's like the genre wasn't really moving. It was just some of these records were coming in, and I think just even the way those girls were writing as well, it gives you a feeling that I can hear these songs are quite minimalist. That's the way a lot of women write, quite minimalist. Lungleg's are songs kind of in a way minimalist because everyone's just playing little bits and bobs, but it's everyone doing it together. It's what makes it sound like sort of there's just so much happening. But if you listen to songs, one of it's just going dong dong dong, the other one's making another sound. So I think things like that certainly had started to to seep in. And
Yeah.
also things like Large Girls and Boys came out round about the time. I remember, I think my brother was in Yummyfur. He's John from Yummyfur. So I
Oh
remember
wow. Okay, didn't know that.
about this too, like that song with that bass line and making indie a bit more, just have a bit more swagger and stuff. I remember thinking, oh right, there's, we can relate to that as well. So
Yeah.
just basically in the fall, we're talking four girls here with extensive interest in music. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
yeah.
How about the UK Riot Girl scene? It's kind of like the Ouija band and all of that. Were you into that? I mean, we talked about Huggy Bear. Were you into
We
that? The
played a lot
UK
of
side?
early shows with them, Sausage Machine and
Yeah,
things like that. I remember we played in Paisley with Mambo Taxi, which was a bit
Oh,
bizarre
great.
because
Yeah.
gigs didn't really happen in Paisley. Um,
I don't remember that at
and
all.
the people, and then we try to think. Sausage Machine was London, wasn't it?
I remember Huggy Bear. Huggy Bear was the main one because we all saw them play on the works. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
when
So
you, when
yeah.
you when you see your kind get on the telly, like back in the 90s, like that was the TV was king, wasn't it? It's like
Mhm.
that's either reading the music magazines or it's you're buying vinyl or it's fanzines, but there's no internet, so really that hit loud and clear and gave you an idea, like, or maybe what we're doing is and sort of being like looked at in a meaningful, respectful way, basically. So yeah, we loved all those bands, but we were just all around at the time. So it's just a big
Yeah,
meeting of friends, really.
yeah,
Kind of UK kind of Riot Girl, as if you're calling that, although I don't know if it was Riot Girl here,
yeah,
but kind of started to fizzle out a wee bit as you went 94, 95. That was kind of
yeah,
I
yeah.
suppose, because Huggy Bear
Britpop kicked
were
off as
like
well.
the
Yeah.
main, yeah. And,
Mm,
so, I mean, we did play with like Bikini Kill, Team Dresch, and, stuff
amazing.
like that. They were coming over
Yeah.
again early 94, 95, before it kind of, again, sort of, I was taken over by the other, as you're saying, Britpop and all the other things
Mm,
kind of all started, lad culture and all that,
yeah.
started
But the thing
seeping.
about us, as I've said before, is like when we started playing, and there was so many girl bands in Glasgow. I mean, it wasn't even mentioned by anyone because it was just loads of girl bands. Like it was just
Mm,
very a 13th note where we all played, where Alex Kranos used to put gigs on.
yeah.
So we never really noticed it, and I wasn't aware personally of being a girl making music. Had just always been doing it since I was 17. But I noticed that people started to say to me, "You're right, girl. You're in a right girl
Mm,
band." So they were telling me who I was and what I like. They were starting to identify,
mm.
and that I never like saw us that way. But like sort of looking back, I'm like, yeah, that's great. I love the fact that we didn't realize we were joining the army, but just by our presence.
Yeah, that's really interesting. We had a few bands from kind of the similar scene on the podcast, and they all talk about the 13th Note and Alex Kapranos and how important that kind of support was. Why do you think? Where did that kind of burst of creativity and kind of camaraderie come from? Do you think at that time?
I think the main thing for the 13th Note, which has come from a series of other pubs and places before that, was that it had full backline, so you could just turn up and play. You didn't need to own equipment,
Mm.
and you got paid in beer, not necessarily given cash, but it meant you could go and play a gig. You knew you had an audience that would come because it was 99 pence to get in,
Oh, wow.
and it was just to encourage people to play music. So, as Jane said, with so many girl bands that we played with there, that you know, um, it was just really good. And from there, you would meet all of them, and we'd play together. So yeah, it was just a hive for
Sure.
everybody, and all like-minded people. Everybody was just so into music and really encouraging. So it didn't matter if you played your first show and it wasn't very good or whatever. You come back and play the next month or whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was great.
it's
It's
interesting.
all the Gen X kids coming of age. We were all born in the like late. I'm 72, sort of late 60s to early 70s. So it's all of us coming of age into our 18, 19, 20. as like the sort of 90s hit and that scene hit. So we're all kids of, post-war baby boomers. We've got punk. So we grew up, when I was a kid, the bands that I heard at discos and stuff was things like Blondie and Ramones and all these bands, and that's just your pop culture. And what a rich pop culture to be born into. Bands like Blondie don't come along every day. Like when I was a young girl, like listening to songs, were just such great quality and amazing and really spoke to you. So I think by the time we got to our teens, we had all that music flying about us basically. Whereas punk was like a kick against, what had gone, the 60s or, so. But I think we learned from all the punk bands. Like we weren't kicking against the pricks. We were just sort of listening to that and taking and using it for our own goods.
Sure. That's really interesting. You also briefly mentioned about fanzines. How important was the fanzine culture to what was happening up there?
Well, I think it was massive because it was obviously, as I said earlier, there was no internet. So it was a mode of communication between two bands. Like Maureen and our band, she did the fanzine called Bittersweet, and almost every band, mainly the girl bands, I guess, was part of the Riot Girl. I know some of the few boy bands did. I think Urusai Yatsura, I should forget it. They did it. They did the fanzine. I recall it seemed to be more of a female thing. So they were massively important because that's feeding information. You're feeding you're feeding what you're about to, every when you tour or you post them. Because we had that and we had a PO box. So fans would write to us via PO box from all over the world. And that's how you communicated back then, because how else? Like this interview, we'd have done it by a letter, wouldn't we?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and were you buying like American fanzines and stuff? Were you getting the Riot Girl fanzines and things? Well, I guess it was over by then, maybe.
Yeah, well, I remember my brother. I mean, I never had much anyone to buy anything, to be honest. But I remember my brother would he's an avid collector. He'd buy things like roller derby, things like that. So yeah, we were definitely getting. I lived in a flat with me and two boys, and one being my brother, and so everyone was just everyone was buying something. So it was just like it was a plethora of information and that. So yeah, and also we're communicating with these bands because we played with them.
Yeah, we had Tower Records years ago as well, and they had like a huge floor that was all the import stuff, so you could buy bits and pieces that came over. I mean, they were very expensive.
Well, that's gonna where do you buy a Heavens to Betsy split 7-inch? I mean, at that time you go into Tower Records. Were they easily available?
There was a couple of independent records. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking over Jane.
That's good.
You go first, Jane.
No, you go.
I was just going to say there's a couple of really good independent record shops in Glasgow back then. We still got them now, but they would stock things like that because you'd really people in the bands that were working in the record shops. You'd like Rat Records, 23rd Precinct, all these different shops like that, and they would get stuff in for you. But normally you go in and they'd be recommending stuff because they know what you like and they keep stuff by and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's great. I love all of that. So when did you start playing outside of Glasgow and started to get picked up a bit more by music press and things like that?
Really quickly, actually, I think with us, I feel like it felt really quick. Like we got such a good buzz of our very first gig we played it, I think it was 19 Sneezy's. And we played about 7 songs. This gig was over in like 5 minutes, basically. It's just like a real flash. We all wore garlands in our hair, and I think we're all dressed up and just these really sort of tatty Miss Haversham gowns that we'd found in sort of down the Barrowlands markets, really, really, really shabby chic. And I think now we have the video, I can see why us getting on stage and looking like that and playing that sort of crazy music, that people reacted really well to it. And I just feel like we just kind of played a few gigs, and the next thing I knew did we do the Peel session first time? We did a demo maybe.
No, we played in London before the Peel sessions. We'd played it nice and sleazy and met Rodri, Kevin, that we supported a band called Gag, who had ex-members of the Keatons in them, and this was part of Glasgow Music Collective. As I say, we still played. There was that crossover before we went a bit. We were maybe a bit too pop for that, but early days. So we played there, and we've been relayed the story that they were all upstairs having a drink, and they heard us sound checking, and they all were like, "Oh my God, it's like a combination of the Shags and all these amazing bands together." They couldn't believe, and they come down and seen it was a bunch of girls, blah blah blah, and they invited us to London.
Misogyny rules, passive misogyny, very
I'm
passive.
sorry,
Sure.
sorry, but so they invited us to London basically, and Rodri had set up shows and things, and then it all kind of spiraled from there. And I think that was about 6 months after our second or third show, I think, if I'm right. So we don't have a timeline.
Yeah.
It was all a bit of a blur. 'Cause it was like we were like playing a gig, and then we went to London, played quite a few shows there, and then we were recorded for the first 7-inch, and then John Peel liked us. So it just kind of it just constantly kept moving from the minute it started. Obviously on a low key, small. We're not talking like it took off your any stretch of the imagination, but for us, like the interest never stopped. For us, we could to just keep going and going, which was great.
There was good wee places like Slant Records. So it's all the wee labels that popped up around the country that were putting out split sevens or whatever, and or cassettes and different things, and they would put on shows. So you were able to go and play like Sunderland, and so we played with like Kinnicky, Early Doors, all that kind of thing. So it's, you know, you meet all these like-minded folk. Brighton was another place where it's just like, my goodness, the reception we got there, you're just like, this is crazy, you know? So it was just, yeah, it was great. Great. Meeting so many like-minded folk.
Yeah. Well, speaking of playing with people, so you played with some amazing people, right? You mentioned Bikini Kill, but I think also Fugazi, you mentioned Urusei Yatsura, Bis. Can you talk about any of those kind of memorable moments?
We played with Sonic Youth as well. I think.
Oh yeah.
Wow. No, the first notable band we played with where we were like, oh my God, was Free Kitten, which was Kevin Hartlett's band with Julia Caprice, who's a girl from Boredoms, and at the time it was Mark from Pavement who was on bass. So we played with them in Edinburgh, in this little place called The Venue, really famous venue in Edinburgh. I think it's closed now. And they were like heroes of ours. Like that was like, that was like entering a different world for me personally, to be around Kim Gordon, Julia Caprice. That was mental. And that luckily led on to, then we got offered to play with Sonic Youth. And then through Sonic Youth, on the same bill in Manchester, we played with them. It was The Makeup. You know the band The Makeup?
I wanted to ask especially about The Makeup. My obsession with all things Ian Svenonius is kind of a running joke on the podcast.
I'd be very upset if you said you didn't know who that was.
I've got an obsession with everything he does, basically.
And you don't know who he is. Yeah, so that's how we met them, because we loved Nation of Ulysses.
Yes.
And Nation of Ulysses played in Glasgow years before, and we all went, and we were all like transfixed. Like they were like super glamorous as well. I think that really, everyone in Glasgow kind of took note of that. Like they really brought it to the stage with their style as well as their music. And so the Makeup supported as well the Sonic Youth gig. And I mean, that was such a fortuitous gig. John Loder was at that gig. He was with the Makeup at the time. So we didn't realise, we ended up signing to his record label. So that just created this huge, snowball. And then we played in America with the Makeup. We toured, and obviously we played with Fugazi there. We met them.
How was that? How was that? Again, another one of my favourite ever bands. How was that?
Well, they were just the most amazing people. Like, because they then came to Glasgow and they requested us as support, and we've always laughed at that because every boy band in Glasgow wanted that support.
That's great. Yeah,
we were like, and they were like, we want Lungleg, and we were.
That's like, amazing. Yeah.
I need to couple. I'll look back here if you want.
And I see that you played with the Makeup recently. Is that right?
Yeah, we played with them in Manchester when we were back over a year or so ago.
Mm.
Yeah, that was great. It's a lovely venue in Manchester, the Deaf Institute. It's a
Mm.
really, really lovely venue, just the right kind of place for them to play, sumptuous velvet curtains, a beautiful
Sure.
stage. So that was for us was a really lovely reunion, I guess, and also
Had you
for
kept in touch
Handel.
over the years?
Yeah. We've played with escapism and with different guises and
Yeah.
always been at all Ian's shows and everything. James had been over just a few times. I think it was French Toast. Is that the name of the band? Something Toast. So occasionally put people up and stuff in your living room. If they were touring and go and see everything they did, or Chain in the Gang,
Yeah.
all the guises, you followed
Yeah.
everything.
He's got so many, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's got his own section on my shelf behind me because he's got so many
Yeah.
different bands, right? You can't put them all in different sections,
They've
Yeah.
always really supported us because they invited us to go over and tour America in the 90s, and like obviously Ian and Michelle, I presume, organised the tour, and we got to stay with them, and so they've always we've just always really been just very supportive. Like when they came back over, we played Glasgow with them, when we played Manchester, they wanted us to do the whole thing, whole tour with them, and we'd love to get back over to America.
Mm.
We're about it with Michelle.
How were the American audiences when you went over there in the 90s?
Fantastic, just so receptive. It's really, I can see they were just so happy. We couldn't believe that there was even anybody really had heard of us at all, but very receptive. And to this day, that's really made a good lasting impact on our band, because when I sort of look at stats and things on our Instagram page, we've got quite a high percentage of people in the US interested in us, and it really, really helps. To whereas Europe, we're sort of flatlining because we never played Europe, so it just shows you if you can get over to these places, even though it's expensive.
Mm.
But yeah, they loved us. That was such a great tour. We recently met Gossip, Beth, and they were saying how much they had really loved hearing Lungleg records back in the day.
Wow, that's amazing, right?
Yeah, so Beth and Nathan, they were saying they would the same way we were doing, listening to Heaven to Betsy and stuff.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
these records, they did get abroad basically.
Yeah, how did Lungleg get into whatever Arkansas or wherever the
I know.
gossip are from, right? It's insane. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? Just wiggling our way in there basically. So it just
Yeah.
shows you.
Suppose again back then, I suppose, if somebody got a 7-inch somehow, they'd make a cassette and share it. And then
Sure.
before you knew it, other people knew. So,
Mm.
just the one or two records making their way over. Because when you meet people now that are over, maybe come and seen Lungleg here, with people coming from America, played Glasgow's Pop last year. And we met so many people there who travelled just for us at that show. So that kind of level of stuff is crazy. But then they'll say, oh, we heard you on a cassette or college radio in America.
Mm.
They would play, your records. And yeah, I suppose, again, though, it's a digital thing
Yeah.
for newer people. So, yeah.
Anything's
Great.
available. Yeah. You said that the split 7 inches is the ideal kind of format, and you released loads of singles and splits and whatever before you actually released an album. Do you think is the full length album kind of anathema to that DIY scene that you're a part of?
I think it's just more expensive. It's the financial thing that created that market for the 7-inch. The 7-inch market was huge because that's what you could DIY labels. That's kind of what they could afford. So it creates it. And we didn't record our album until we were signed to a label who had money to actually, like Southern Records. They had an in-house studio, an in-house producer, so we had unlimited access to that place to re-record our album, record another 7-inch. We did another split with the makeup. So I think it's to do with it created that scene because it's what people can afford. And now obviously digital age, I mean, you can release a 7-inch, you can release an album, but how are most people listening to music? They're listening to it digitally. We've already had people emailing us about the split 7-inch, the new release, and saying, when is it going to be on Spotify?
Mm.
They're like, fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
can we try and sell it first and make some money? Because it costs,
Yeah.
it's basically someone saying, but they don't know that's what they're saying, but they're basically saying, when can I listen to it for free?
Yeah.
You're killing music. You're killing independent music.
Yeah, I mean, what's your take on all of this, the Spotify and all the streaming platforms and stuff? Is it killing music?
I use it. I mean, it's a hypocritical world. I was discussing with my friends the other night where I was saying, yeah, I get it, because obviously people are up in arms about it because they're saying it's supporting arms and race and things, but like,
a lot of people are withdrawing from it, aren't they? A lot of bands.
Yeah, they are, and it's difficult to find another platform. But at the same time, it's like it works because it's convenience for people, and that's why people use it. But and we are victims of it. We get literally. I think we got our royalties the other day. We split our royalties with KRS, Kill Rock Stars, because of the 10-inch we put out. And for the quarter, I think it's 37,000 plays on Spotify. Our share of that was £60.
I mean, we don't put our stuff up. It was the record labels who put it up, so we don't even have ownership of our music that's on platforms. So going forward, anything we release, it'll be nice that we own it.
So now you will.
That's a nice thing,
that's good.
But we never put Lungleg up on Spotify. We never put it on Bandcamp.
Right.
Never. So we don't get anything really from our music.
At the same time, it's like that's where a lot of people listen to music. It's kind of you're kind of a trap, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
But it's that kind of thing, like growing up with the physicality, like loving when you got a new album and reading on the sleeve notes and all the bits, like any of our issues, everything we've got, it's got something else to it. It's not just a plain insert. There'll be lyrics, there'll be photos, there'll be stories, there'll be different things. So it's that excitement about
like a catalogue. Kill Rock Stars used to have the whole catalogue you'd look through and circle and all that. Yeah.
That doesn't go away. So we still love the physical thing, and of course there'll be digital stuff that follows that, but we still want to release things with a physical thing.
Sure.
You go in and go, oh. I know a lot of people now buy the record and then just listen to the downloads. So
I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
But how can you? But it's like I listen to a hell of a lot of music when I'm outside, when I'm walking. I go for big walks. So I have to take my 7-inch collection out with me to walk. Like
that's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm not carrying about a portable record player. I put on a song every 3 minutes. Like it's what people do. It's like
that's true.
You listen to music around the house. You're doing something. You don't want to get up and down putting on. It's just it's convenient, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's just in a way that it's convenient for for small bands to at least benefit financially on a small way, so they can continue to release music. Like at the moment, we want to put an album out. We do not have any money to do this. We've got no money financially as a band at the moment. We spent everything we had releasing this 7-inch and preparing for the shows we've got coming up. So we're going to try looking into funding, and that is the only way for us to go forward, because financially we're not making we'll never make enough money to fund a large scale project like that.
It's not good, is it? It can't be. Can't be sustainable, right? This model cannot be sustainable for too long, right?
That's why if it chooses to exist in the world, it should look after the small bands as much as
100% agree. Yeah.
If Spotify would stop doing whatever the shady deals are doing, selling whatever they are doing, I don't know what they're doing personally, but if they were to stop doing all that or any other digital platform and start offering the bands like at least some money that's financially makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah,
it's 0.000 1 pence or something.
Yeah,
Perfectly.
it's insane. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just not fair. The music is what the platform's there for.
exactly. Yeah, it's 100% agree.
Yeah.
Can I go back to the girl band thing? So you said you didn't notice you were a girl band until people started pointing out that you were a girl band. When that did happen and you started getting in like the Enemy and the Melody Maker and stuff, did you feel pressure to kind of represent yourselves as like the voice of young women? Did you feel any kind of pressure to do that?
Can I let you go first? What's that thing?
I don't think so. I guess I should say myself. So no, I don't think we felt we had to be the voice of the generation. You were just talking about how things affected you, your own perspective, and obviously flying the flag for a lot of good bands that you liked, which a lot of them happened to be all girls or had girls in them. It wasn't really, oh, I only like girl bands and stuff like that. It's just about the quality of the music and the people you met. That, if you like the people and their music, then you're going to say in an interview, just played with whoever it is, and they're great.
I think
I don't know.
personally, like I didn't maybe realise it until it became part of some form of movement that is to do with women and feminism. Like I always had an unconscious affinity for women. My mum was a bit of a man hater, so I was kind of brought up in a way a wee bit like, but I was always around men, my brother, so I was around boys all the time. So I didn't hate men, but I just feel a bit like, but I always knew that when the things that I really liked were female specific, like that's what I liked, and I don't think it's any different from men. It's just taken for granted. The men, there's more men anyway. So if I went to see a band and there was a girl in the band, like female bass players, Kim Gordon, Kim Deal, Storm Muses, I was always really like mesmerized by that, like seeing that, and that to me really, like, I think I've said a million times, but it's like if you see yourself as, if you see a woman doing something, you're a girl, it's going to make you feel more like you can do it. So I really feel that is really important, and 100% now we're back and much more consciously of that leaning. And really, really, of my personal feeling for the band is I really want to work with women. I wanted to, we had Erin Sinead doing our sound, and she produced the 7-inch amazingly. Annabelle Wright from the Pastels has done the illustration for it. We've got Laura Logic. So anywhere we can, my preference would be to work with women, young women, just to try and level the playing field a bit. Not that I don't like men, it's just that, I just would, if we have the opportunity to give anyone an opportunity, I'd like to give that to women, or just anyone that's a bit more in a minority, basically.
Sure. How about having like feminist messages in the music or in the lyrics and things like that? Was that ever part of what you wanted the band to be? You said the new single kind of does.
Well, the new single specifically does that, but there's always messages in the old stuff as well, like things about one of the early songs called Blah Blah Blah, and that's about being really scared of walking home in the dark and being really worried that there's, as I still am, because I don't want to be attacked by some lone man. I don't really feel scared when I'm walking in the dark and there's a woman coming towards me, but I most certainly am on guard. There's a guy. I pointed out my boyfriend the other night. I was like, we're walking home late at night, and I was like, God, there's so many just lone men wandering. It's like, no wonder. They're just like having to turn around this really dark street. You're like, what are you doing, mate? Like, what is going on? I don't know. So, but I think we've always been quite.
Yeah, I think also like the messages like that, but also hoping to inspire people to go and listen to other bands that inspired us. So Eek's a classic example of that. Obviously inspired by listening to Kleenex. So you're flying the flag like under the radar almost, but hoping people pick it up, and then also trying to tune people into different things that we were into, like comic culture and all the different things like that. So you get people then interested who are interested in things like that, and then they get into your music as well. So
yeah.
it's
So you kind of alluded
really
to it
good.
earlier, but I mean, how did you respond to the lad culture that came with Britpop and the second half of the 90s?
I think well we got slagged off. We got slagged off, and I think it's NME. It was Mr. Amusing or Mr. Abusing. It was like a little page at the back, and it was just one of the journalists under a pseudonym, and they would just like rip the living shit out of bands, and so just a way of sort of passive aggressively like really say what you feel basically. So we would get slagged off on that a bit, just saying, oh, Lungleg, just taking the piss out of like they're saying, oh, I can hardly see Lungleg, filling Milton Keynes bowl, or slagging off that sort of going straight into the sort of a ripping apart the playing vibe and stuff. So but personally, I think I just zoned out of it because it wasn't speaking to me personally. We were still doing what we were doing up until 1998, I think. Anyway,
But you were active in the Britpop years, right? I mean,
yeah, we were still going. So we were just doing our thing, and we were being supported by like John Walker, the record label, by the makeup. So we were in a, we weren't expecting to make a passover into that. We never expected to be like successful. We couldn't see how it would work anyway with music. So I think for our person, just like let them get on with it.
yeah.
And then
Early doors, like Blur used to go to Sausage Machine, so they came and seen us and loved us. So it's completely different music anyway, and we weren't coming at anything from that
Sure.
angle. And obviously, our politics are completely different because we're women. You're never going to slide into what lad culture was about, and never really bought many of the bands from that era. It just didn't appeal. Like Jane's saying, it just didn't really come into your radar because you didn't really appreciate a lot of the music.
And the men we knew would be more scared of us anyway, so we weren't worried. So they're not going to mess with us anyway. So I think we'd have just been ready for a fight. I liked Oasis, and I think ultimately that's the press that's doing that. Ultimately, these are bands, and I think like first two Oasis albums are really great songs. So it's just I don't think the band necessarily. It's all the little derivative bands that come after that play into that because they're forming based on a press opinion. They're not authentic.
Sure.
Basically.
Yeah. It's interesting. So the band split up 99-ish or something. That's what it was. Was it? Yeah. Was it anything particular that triggered it, or did it just kind of time take its natural course? Or
Well, for me personally, I think it's literally all a bit of a blur, but we recorded the album Maid to Minx, so it was a little bit like just going round in circles. We'd already recorded Maid to Minx independently with the Suvies, and then when we signed to Southern, John wanted us, quite rightly so, to re-record it in his studio with Harvey Burrell, who was he was an alien sex fiend. He's just it was a really weird mix of Lungleg and alien sex.
sure.
We were kind of like, okay, this could work, and it did. So he's a fantastic producer, and I think we got a bit exhausted by that, so we were going up and down to London all the time. Just age as well. I think me and Philip had decided we wanted to go down and move to London and just experience I just wanted to experience a different life. I was kind of bored of Glasgow really, and it was natural, I guess, that the band. But I don't remember it being like none of us fell out or anything. It was like it just came to a natural end, really.
Okay.
So
moving to London thing was the main thing, I think, because I didn't want to move to London because John Loder was saying, wanted us to do more, but we'd have to keep going up and down to London, and they couldn't pay for us to do that. So obviously moved to London, but I personally didn't want to move to London, so that kind of was a natural thing.
Yeah, that was all very amicable and all of that. No rock and roll arguments and musical differences? No.
No, unfortunately not.
So I was hoping for some rock and roll excess tales.
Don't gossip.
So
I really enjoyed like not playing. I really enjoyed going down to London and not being in a band. Like I've done it since I was like 17 years old, and that's all I had. And just I kind of just, it's like you go through your life, you want to experience different things, and definitely, I want to experience my life not playing in a band. So, it's like
sure.
it's good sometimes not to play in a band, to have it like just be yourself, basically.
Sure. So in between years before you reformed, were you in bands, or were you just totally civilian life was completely?
Oh, I was so I went down to London and experienced civilian extremely poor. I thought being poor in Glasgow was bad. Being poor in London was 400 times worse. I came back to Glasgow, went to university. I thought I better get a degree in sort of film and media. I thought better because I hadn't worked. I had no. I just played music. And then I got my degree, and then I just was sitting. I was like, "Well, what do I do?" Like I was about 33 or something. And I was like, "I'll form a band." I just formed a band again. It was just kind of, and I've just realised over the years that that's personally what I do. I think it's like an emotional support blanket for me. It's just become like I'm always in a band.
Okay, that's great. And working, or just in a band?
No, I'm working. Yeah, I just have a normal job now as well. Yeah, obviously, band, but I want to also not be skint.
Sure.
Me and Anna are both fully employed, just in the real world as well.
Okay.
Once you realise that you're not going to make a living out of music, or once you decide that, you just want to have living out adult life, I would always say that to anybody. Make sure that you find a way to make a living, because being poor when you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s isn't glamorous.
No.
Similar, yeah. I adult life jobs. I have a lovely daughter as well, who's now carrying the mantle with her own band, so that's great. Wow. And played music once she got to secondary school, was able to then have a bit more time to do music again. So it's always there in the back burner, and it's, for me as well, it's your emotional release thing that keeps me sane. Having a day job that's quite, I work in charity, so it's quite hard sometimes. So yeah, but having that financial security is nice as well.
Yeah.
Not that we're rich. Jane and I just have enough money, but it's just nice not being poor.
Sure.
Like we were in the 90s, I think we were all signing on, and
you could do it back then. You could do that in the 90s. You could be unemployed.
That was it. Maggie's tenner up here in Glasgow. You get an extra tenner on your gyro if you did a creative course. So we all did photography.
Okay.
It was like
we have to write a song called that. We have to write a song called Maggie's Tenner.
We hear it a lot from bands on the podcast, talk about the enterprise allowance scheme, and even just like the fact that it was socially acceptable to be unemployed if you were in a band back then. It was okay, well, you're in a band, that's cool, I understand. But now people don't accept it, right? It's like morally a bad thing, which it's fucked, right? I don't know.
It's even the benefits you get now. You don't even get those benefits. Like we could all get housing benefit. You got your gyro. If you were playing and you got beer and stuff, then it's a free night out because you were there with your pals and seeing fantastic music. Bands from their infancy. So what is there? And it meant you didn't need to get up the next day, so everybody could go out all the time.
Yeah.
Dancing, all that. Like quite hedonistic times, really.
Now, if we have a gig where me and Anna are like, right, oh God, I need to try and get a day off work. Because it's like my boss she's nice and she was happy and give me time, but it's like I want to have fun, but it's like I'm not going to have fun if I have to be like playing a gig and just trying to get the band together because everyone has jobs now.
Everyone's got stuff going on. Yeah. All right. Now you've got a taste of it. Is there another split single in the works? I was going to say album, but after this conversation, I guess split singles is the logical question.
We've had a couple of offers for people wanting to do bits and pieces with us. So, as Jane said, it's just time and obviously a bit of finance. So a lot of smaller labels, if you can present them with a recorded thing, they do the rest, but you need to get it recorded first. So it's just getting the cash together for that. So if you do come to your shows, buy records, buy your knickers, buy your t-shirts.
Yes, I saw that. You have merchandise, Lungleg knickers, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how we financially keep ourselves afloat. It's like by playing gigs. It's really the merch. It's the merch that really helps. And we really put a lot of attention and love into our merch. It's all hand screen printed by our friend Fiona. It's Sooty in Edinburgh. She's been working with us since the 90s. So it's nice quality gear. We want, really great artwork on it, but that really helps. We're not making that much for gigs, so that really helps us stay afloat.
Sure. All right. Thank you so much for being generous with your time. I've got one last question, if that's okay. We ask every person we interview the same question. And the question is, which band from the 90s would you have liked to have been in and why? Which other band from the 90s would you have liked to have been in and why?
Oh my God, I wish I'd thought of this before.
Sorry.
I'm thinking it has to be from the 90s.
It has. Sorry, that's the rule because we're that's the name of the podcast. Yeah.
Okay. I know Nirvana.
Great answer.
I'm choosing Nirvana.
Yeah. Why?
I just absolutely, I loved I was a late comer because I was from, I guess, Get MTV and then Smells Like Teen Spirit. I hadn't really paid attention to them before that, even though I was sort of aware. But the minute I started understanding them, I just really, really, really loved Kurt Cobain. I loved the way he really championed a lot of female bands like the Raincoats. So I just had the real affinity with his way of thinking. And just
they came from the riot girl scene in the US, right? Nirvana came out of all of that, right?
With Toby Dale, Bikini Kill. So I just loved that. Like, that's what he did with his power, and I thought that's cool.
Brilliant answer. Yeah, Annie, how about you?
I really can't think. I'm thinking of brilliant gigs I went to in the 90s. I don't know if it is 90s. It is 90s, but I'm kind of thinking maybe the Cramps.
Ooh.
Up there with Poison Ivy. I could have been up there, Nick Knox, whatever that'd have been. Obviously, Ivy always steals the show. She looks amazing, but because I remember when I went to see them in the 90s, they'd replaced one of the guitarists, and you were a bit disappointed, but obviously Poison Ivy was always there, so I could have been that.
Sure. Another great answer. That's brilliant. All right. So where's the best place for people to keep up with what you're up to and where they can order the single and stuff like that? Where's the best place for people to go?
So, on our Instagram page, it's just Lungleg Band. And all the links are available. The 7-inch is available from Errol's Hot Wax, which is a record label that's actually that the Soul Static lies under. But if you just go to our page, all the links are there. The 7-inch is very limited to about 300, so they're initially just going to be available with the gig, and then we'll be selling some on tour. We're playing London on the 20th at the Moth Club.
20th of October. October? Yeah.
October. Glasgow, I think, is 14th. And we're playing Edinburgh on the 2nd of October.
Okay. Brilliant.
So the 7-inch will be on sale with us in Glasgow and London.
And we're going to have brand new exclusive merchandise for those shows as well.
New knickers.
Get it while it's hot.
Okay. Brilliant. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm going to stop the recording, but don't escape just yet. Thank you very much.
Okay, so there we go. Lungleg. First new release in 27 years. That's a bit of a gap, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. It was cool the way it happened, right? They said it started out as just like someone found like a t-shirt print template or whatever, and it kind of snowballed into getting back, releasing a new single. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a brilliant story. Just, random act, pretty much. Not even them. Wasn't even instigated by them, really, was it?
There you go.
It's interesting, isn't it? You can make decent money from merch.
It's the own. Well, I don't know if it's decent, but it's money. I guess.
Yeah.
It's the only money that bands make, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah. But, given that we're sort of a band but without any music, maybe we could have some merch.
Well, I am getting some merch sorted for Christmas, hopefully.
Oh, are you? Didn't you claim that about a year ago?
Yeah, I didn't get it done last Christmas, but
Yeah.
because Luke designed those T-shirts, the generic
The
indie
phrases, the
T-shirts.
catchphrases. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I'll
We're
get
going to have
those
one
back
each,
on
won't we?
Facebook.
One each with our catchphrase.
Yeah, so we'll get it.
What's your catchphrase?
It's not the catchphrase. Mine is generic indie bloke.
What's yours, Neil?
Neil's
haven't got
unique
one.
vocal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Dave's is see you in a minute. We're going to get 3 different designs printed out. That was
I
the
didn't
plan.
even invent my own catchphrase.
No, you wouldn't have come up with anything that good.
No,
we had to do
true.
it for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the merch is coming. That's how we're gonna. But we can retire then. We can just do this full time.
Well, speaking of merch, so they got Lungleg knickers.
Yeah,
Which is-
we could do that.
Yeah, I really
Stupid
don't
and
like the
Contagious
word,
pants.
especially when you say it.
What's wrong with me
I
saying
don't like
it?
the word knickers either.
No, I don't know, but maybe that means I'm...
Which is worse,
I've got a
knickers or
problem.
panties?
Panties
is
probably
worse.
Yeah,
That's a good name
what
for
can you say?
women's underwear.
If you say pants, it sounds like saggy underpants, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But what does it say
There's not a
about
good
me
word for it.
as a bloke not
That you're
being
not
able to
comfortable.
listen to those words? It's a
Yeah.
bit weird,
You're
isn't
not
it?
comfortable with talking about women's underwear. That's your problem. Yeah, 100%.
I'm the same though. Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I mean, we could
okay.
do Stupid and Contagious knickers. I don't know if anyone would buy them.
I don't think they'd be too popular. No.
Don't know.
No. Okay. Well, I don't know. The age of our listeners, we're probably like Super Contagious nappies. You know, like older people's nappies. It's probably more.
Just think. Yeah. Might be a better route to take. Slippers.
Slippers,
Stupid and
that's
Contagious
better. Yeah.
Slippers.
Pipe and slipper set.
That's the one. That's a good idea.
It's not.
I get on it.
All right. Back to the interview.
And he made an interesting point about things changing or not changing for women in music. Not enough representation at festivals. Now, I think women are probably more represented now, but they're more solo artists, but bands aren't. That's what
True.
I think.
That's what it seems like, right? I haven't got the statistics, but it does feel like that. There are more female solo artists, but not
Seems like
bands.
They're getting a lot of the headline slots now, yeah, the solo artists.
Compared to before. Yeah.
Well, just
Again,
in
it
general, I
depends
think
on the
that-
festival, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, how many female artists have headlined Download? You know, it depends on.
yeah,
on the
that's what I
festival,
mean.
doesn't it?
Bands, I think bands is different, but certainly like you've had your Billie Eilish's, Dua Lipa does headlines
Yeah.
of fair
Sabrina
few
Carpenter.
festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, band-wise, I think it's still a bit more difficult. You've got like female-fronted bands, but that's not the same as a female band, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So
Yeah, that other leg band, Wet Leg, that's just female fronted, isn't it?
Oh, two. I think 2 of the 4.
are.
I think it's
yeah,
50-50.
2 of the 4, half and half.
Yeah.
I really noticed them at the Glastonbury. I wasn't there, just from watching it on
Yeah.
telly. It's like a good performance, I thought.
Luke, don't
Okay.
Luke's not a fan by the twitching of his face.
Did you see his
I did
lip
twitch.
go?
I
You
did
saw it,
twitch.
see it?
I don't mind them. I don't mind them.
But they have got leg in the title, so it's relevant, isn't
They
it?
have.
Long
That's
leg,
true.
wet leg, sure.
I think of what other?
Well, there are a few recent ones like Lambrini Girls and Hot Wax and stuff. I think they've got a male drummer, but yeah, they're kind of coming up. There's some good bands out there.
Oh, he had that group of. I think they were sisters that were quite annoying for a while. They were quite big.
I really like them, but I know.
I
Luke
knew
will
you
not.
would.
Yeah,
My God,
brilliant.
they're so fucking boring.
It's just great pop music.
Pop or plop?
It's pop, man.
Neil?
But that just
I'm
is
gonna go
my
plop.
kind of music.
Yeah. That's
No,
fair.
I think I like one of their records, singles, but yeah, don't know if I can watch the
Absolute
whole
rubbish.
set.
But yeah, they're definitely right that, you know, the feminist utopia that was promised in the 90s definitely hasn't materialized. Yeah. I just finished reading this book like 5 minutes before we start recording, Everyday Sexism. It's just about, you know, the
Bit of light
the
reading.
daily shit that fucking women have to go through. It's completely fucked. Yeah.
You're so woke.
Lucky we got Trump though. leading the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with him.
Yeah.
He's a bit of balance. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Before I come on, I was reading through some of the stuff. He's doing this. He's trying to get, because all tablets and stuff in America are really expensive. All medication's really expensive. He said he's going to bring all the prices down by 1,600%.
Yeah.
Just doesn't mean anything, does it? Just means it's free.
Well, I assume what he means is like to a 16th of what they are now.
Yeah, well, he's wrong, and then whatever
You
he
should say that then.
he believes it's 1,600%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Neil. You'd think bring it down 95% or something
Yeah. Yeah.
would
Exactly.
be to a 20th.
1,600,
1,700.
1,700, he said, sometimes 500.
Yeah.
He's
The
such
guy's an idiot.
buffoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just woke anyway.
I am indeed. Yeah. Yeah. It's so woke to want equality. Split 7-inch is the ideal medium. What do you reckon?
Is that what you reckon?
I
think for this kind of music, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Dave's not convinced.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't bought records by bands like
I haven't
Lungleg.
got record players, so it's no good for me.
I don't see why it's a good thing. I'd rather have
Why not?
two songs by him.
Well, I mean, you probably can fit a couple of songs on each side, but yeah. Yeah. But then you get one by each.
What if you
I
don't
mean,
like
you've got
one
your
of the
two
bands?
favourite bands. You've got your
What if
two
they're not,
favourite
though?
bands, and they both have a
What if
song.
they're not
each?
your two favourite bands?
Then you
One of
might
them is,
discover
one
a
of
new
them
one
isn't.
that becomes your new favourite.
Yeah, but what if you know you don't like one, but you definitely like the other one? Then
If you
what?
know that you hate it,
Yeah.
but then you wouldn't be doing a split together. would they?
Say, all right, say Fugazi released a 7 thing with top loader. You'd have to buy
Fugazi and Top Loader split 7-inch.
yeah. You'd have to do that.
Good point, Neil. You
Yeah.
It's
can't.
not a good point
He's
because
got
it's
no
impossible.
comeback on that.
I've got him.
It's not.
What's your answer? Would you buy it?
Yes.
He would buy it, and he'd never
He would
listen
buy
to the
it.
top
And he would
loader.
listen to that dance in
Exactly.
the moonlight till his little face fell
Yeah.
off.
Oh man. No, it's good. It's a good way to get, to build a community. It means you can afford
Yeah,
it.
no, I
If you're
think it's a good
doing it,
idea.
both bands are putting in the stuff to do it.
If it's a
build-
similar scene, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
yeah,
it's a good
which it
way to do
usually is, right? So,
Yeah.
I think it's a great,
No.
it's great,
It's good.
great idea, great format.
It's a familiar story we've heard it from a lot of bands that we've interviewed where they just get together for a one-off gig and it ends up being like they sort of get back together and think, why the fuck did we stop doing this in the first place? Let's just do some more. That's what they've done, isn't it?
Yeah,
Main Street did a one-off gig, but unfortunately it was just a one-off.
and you went, yeah. That's probably
That's
enough.
why we stopped.
That's why we stopped. All right.
No, it's good actually, but Sean lives in New Zealand. It's not practical. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that happens a lot. You just think, oh yeah, let's just do a gig, see how it goes, and then
Then the
it's
old
good.
magic.
Carry on.
Yeah. Sure.
Big US following.
I think there was just a really good crossover of those kind of similar scenes that was going on in America with bands like The Makeup and stuff. I think there was just a really good cross-pollination and communication between them. So I think that helps.
Yeah.
And like you said, they're Riot Girl adjacent, which feels right. But why can't they be part of it? The Riot Girl.
I guess they can.
Or
And
they're just
like
too
some of
late.
the kind of
It was the
Yeah,
right girl
basically.
specifically American scene.
no, because you had like the UK
Yeah,
kind of
Huggy
scene that
Bear,
we've talked
didn't you?
about. But I guess so. There is like a softer side to Riot Girl. Like it doesn't have to be as like super aggressive and distorted like Bikini Kill. Like they mentioned bands like Heaven to Betsy and stuff, and they're a lot more kind of
Yeah, when we did
softer
our Right
and
Girl
more popish,
special, we had other poppy bands on there.
So yeah, I guess they could be, but I mean, I guess it's how they didn't identify themselves as Riot Girl. So I think that's.
I think
probably
is that
the
what it
difference.
is? You have to sort of identify yourself to be in that scene.
Not necessarily, but I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess the scene was over by that point.
It's probably quite lazy just to lump all female bands in the Riot Girl scene as well, isn't
Well,
it?
exactly. But I mean, they were part of that culture, and they played with Bikini Kill, and they had the fanzine and all that kind of stuff, which was part of the Riot Girl culture, So, but yeah, I would say
there is this
adjacent
weird-
rather than Riot Girl.
Yeah, coupling there with Scotland and Seattle, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, isn't there? They're like twin towns, Seattle and Scotland,
Yeah.
and Glasgow.
Why Seattle?
Well, isn't that
They
where
seem like
Riot
a
Girl's from?
No, it's kind of Portland. It's near Seattle, I guess, but
Yeah. I mean,
That area.
That area.
yeah, well, Portland and
Yeah,
DC as
and-
well. But yeah,
No, you're right, because Kurt Cobain, he liked a lot of the bands from there, and there seemed to be a bit of a crossover.
yeah, and yeah, like the Makeup were like the first band to take Bikini Kill on tour when Bikini Kill first started, just like they did with Lungleg, right? Yeah,
Maybe they got similar.
I think
sort
Nation of
of-
Ulysses
we talked-
rather than Makeup.
We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. Maybe it's the weather, but they've got similar weather systems.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the weather. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And well, Kurt loved all those Scottish bands, didn't he? Teenage Fan Club and the Vaselines and
Yeah.
BMX Bandits.
But he probably felt at home when he was in Glasgow because of the weather.
It's the weather.
I thought was great. Jane was talking about how she grew up with bands like Blondie, the Ramones, and all that, and then that was popular culture back then. That was their popular culture. It's not like that now, is it? It's not. That's not the case these days. I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
I know what you are trying to say. Because even if you weren't into, if you're like 7 or 8, you're still going to be seeing Blondie on Top of the Pops or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
But
just don't really.
You don't, yeah.
Cool bands aren't part of popular culture really at the moment, are they?
No. And we had it as well. Cool bands were part
Yeah.
of popular culture for us, but they're not
exactly.
for Dave's kids, right?
Yeah, which might explain why sort of festivals are headlined by
I mean,
solo artists.
band-wise, who have you got? Like the fucking 1975 or whatever.
Exactly.
What's part of the popular
1975.
culture for?
Well, I think this is why, maybe that's why, but I think there is a general 90s sort of, people are going to watch 90s bands. They're playing at festivals and stuff. Maybe, I don't know why that is. Maybe they're
Young
just
people,
like-
I mean.
What's cool and what isn't cool isn't as crucial as it was when we were young.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I
It's just
guess.
I
sort
think
of
there's
more-
less of a generational divide. It's okay if your parents listen to the same things as you do, which didn't happen when we were young, right?
And
See, I just don't
maybe
know.
we're not getting the rich cultural stuff anymore, but people are quite nice to each other and stuff. I don't know. It's quite a nice thing.
And maybe things have.
But maybe
on
the
the other
internet
hand,
has
you've got all this other
fragmented
shit that's happening.
culture too much.
Oh, it's definitely fragmented. Yeah, there aren't any like subcultures. We've spoken about this before, haven't we? Really?
Yeah, and we don't have the collectivity of something like Top of the Pops, where everyone. Oh, that we talked about seeing Huggy Bear on the Word, right? It was like a generational moment for everyone, and everyone watched it. But now, because everyone's just on their phones or on Netflix or whatever, there's nothing like that for people to discover together and be part of popular culture, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. I think it's just a fragmentation of media.
Yeah.
It's just.
But you got these massive groups of people, and like we're completely isolated from each other. Like I looked at that march in London the other day.
Were you on it?
150,000. No, but I just don't understand it at all. It's just.
Thought I recognise your ass crack with the.
I don't think they understand it either, Dave. To be fair.
No,
don't know,
but
think
I
they
don't
just sort of
have
drifted
any
there.
link whatsoever with anyone in that group, and it's massive.
I know.
And they don't have any
But
link.
I mean,
to
is it massive? I
people
mean,
in my
100,000
group.
people is still
It's
a drop
not
in the
as big
ocean,
as
really, isn't
they'd
it?
like to.
Well, it's
they'd
a lot
like to
of
think
people
it is.
to bother to go to a
But
march.
it was.
isn't it?
It's a tenth the amount of people that marched against the war in Iraq,
Yeah.
right? So you know,
Yeah, it's
But
a
my
fair
point
amount,
is,
but it's-
there's a
it's a
large
fair
group
amount.
that I've got absolutely no connection with whatsoever.
Yeah.
But back
I
in
know, I
our
get what
day,
you're
I don't
saying,
think
yeah.
we had that. You had.
it's because we all live in our own self-constructed media bubble because
It's
it's
social
all,
media.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you choose your tribe on social media, and you just end up talking
Yeah.
to them all the time. That's the algorithm. That's what it's designed for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess in our day, it was more visible who your tribe was.
You had to make
And maybe
choices
you-
as well, didn't you?
Yeah. But now you've just got no idea who's in what tribe.
No, it's true.
Why
like
not?
you, Neil was saying the other day that you were talking to someone at your work
yeah.
and then you made a comment and revealed to them
Yeah,
And he said,
they were sort of.
"Oh, you're a lefty."
I mean, that's always been the
about
case.
8 hours through the day, I've realised they were sort of far right.
Well, that's always been the case. You wouldn't necessarily know that you're, the bloke at work is whatever.
I mean, this is all works. It's a bit different, but
Well, I think we're I don't know, we're more interconnected than ever. We're more, the tribes are online maybe, but it spills over into offline now and again, like like that march,
yeah.
But we live in completely different, we're experiencing the world, we're experiencing the same world in a completely different way to each other because we've, what's the word?
Yeah.
What's the word? You create,
Don't ask me.
we've created
I
our
don't
own,
got a clue.
it begins with a C and I can't remember the word.
Constructed.
No, it's
Candle?
not that. Anyway,
Car.
not candle. But yeah, we've constructed our own tailored to our own individual person, right? And it's a different world.
Yeah.
Again, not to get political, but like I read a post about Charlie Kirk thing, and someone saying that they didn't know what they were talking about because they'd seen loads of videos of Charlie Kirk saying very reasonable things about going to church and being nice to your mum.
And
that were the only things that they'd been fed, and they're like they couldn't understand what everyone was talking about, and they literally experienced the same person in a completely different way because they'd been fed different things by the algorithm. It's scary, man. It's scary.
Yeah.
That's
Fucking AI,
interesting.
isn't it?
It's not AI.
Not AI. It's people running these.
No, I just wanted to say something.
Yeah.
I
companies.
just wanted to pretend I was up with kids, down with the kids.
Well,
Back to
get
the
back to the
band.
interview. So, fanzines as a means of communication pre-internet, and communicating via PO boxes and stuff. I love
we
all
should
that.
do that for the podcast.
You're obsessed with fanzines.
I just like the idea that you're creating
Luke.
this culture.
Yeah.
Well, we
Make
talked
one
about
then.
it with Simon Williams. It's the idea. Well, we are. We talked about the
He's
podcast
got a
is a new
secret
fanzine.
blog that he never tells anyone about. I've seen it. Haven't you?
Go on, what hilarious
Come
thing are
on.
you going to make up that's on it? Go on.
No, I can't remember how it popped up.
You should sponsor the podcast.
realise
And tell
you
I
everyone
don't have
about it.
I don't have a secret blog. I don't tell anyone about, Dave. I don't.
You have.
I don't have that. I don't have time. What are you talking about?
I've seen a blog.
It doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I like that.
You know what?
I like the idea of communicating internationally through.
Yeah, like
writing
maybe we
letters
should
and
only
stuff
do
like
the
that. It's
podcast
cool.
via a fanzine and a PO box.
As we
See if
well,
see how that
podcast is a
works.
new pattern. Okay, PO box and pigeon only. No emails are accepted.
And then we can write back some via a fanzine and vice versa.
Yeah,
Take a while, wouldn't it? Imagine doing an interview like that.
yeah.
Take ages.
I am now.
The whole Spotify thing popped up again. When's it going to be on Spotify? Fuck off. We need the money for
Yeah. Well, you see, this week Massive Attack pulled all their stuff off Spotify, right?
They did, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah,
What
no.
statement did they make around it? Or did
Just-
they
yeah, it's
do
just
it
being-
with no
Fuck you,
statement.
Spotify.
No, I think they said it's being used to fund arms and shit like that, and
Right.
they weren't any part of it. Yeah.
I mean, we could have this conversation every week, so we've had it before, but yeah. But they have still got, the stuff is on Spotify as well, isn't it? Lungleg, they said it is still
Yeah, but they
part
said they don't have any control over it. Yeah, the record company puts it on there.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's like Amazon, isn't it? Like, it's a horrible, hideous corporation that's
Yeah, run by a
taken over,
company.
but it's
The way
so
they've got
good.
you
It's so
is-
useful.
yeah.
You use it. I use it all the time.
The convenience is
Yeah.
where they get you. There's no
Yeah.
denying the convenience of it, is there? It's,
No.
You know.
And it's almost a monopoly, isn't it? Almost. It's because it's yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still unsure about how Spotify strike their deals or how they've been allowed to just pay what they want. I don't understand how
It's
that's
just
all
so
happened.
powerful.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at
And
some
people are
point
like,
they must have approached
I just want people to
artists and
hear
said,
it.
We're going
Yeah.
to take your music and give you like half a p for 100 plays. And what the artist just said, okay.
They got no choice.
I guess a lot of artists aren't involved, do they? It's the record companies.
Yeah. Yeah. And like they say, if you're a big artist, then you do pretty well out of Spotify. But anyone that's even slightly lower
Have I
than
told you my interest in
fucking massive
Alison Moyet
doesn't-
fact?
go on.
No, go on.
Who was it? I can't remember who was. I was watching a podcast and they said they were talking about Spotify, and he said, "Here's an interesting fact." And it is an interesting fact. He said, "Alison Moyet makes minimum wage off of her Spotify streams.
There you go.
That's the sort of money you're talking.
Yeah.
It's not great, is it?
It's not great.
One of the biggest selling artists of the 80s.
She was in that Since Britannia documentary, actually. Yazoo.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Makes minimum wage off Spotify, so you can imagine that like smaller artists make nothing.
But that is just one of her income streams, right?
Then I'd quite like to make minimum wage off Spotify.
Especially yes, I mean,
I
and
think
it's a
the point
song that
was
she
she's a huge
recorded
artist.
40 years ago.
She's a huge artist, is the point, and if she can only make minimum wage on Spotify.
But also the figure that was it Jane or
Annie
gave us, was it £60 for
£60 for 37,000 plays?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's just nothing, is it?
It's not. It's an insult. It really is.
Only if you're getting like millions and billions of streams in it.
Exactly.
Do you make any money? Yeah, how many streams do you reckon Ed Sheeran's had on Spotify? He was on the One Show the other day.
Well, he's into the billions, isn't he?
He can't like 1.5
billion?
billion, I'm going to say.
Right, Dave?
20 billion?
60.
What about Swift?
I don't know. I'm talking about Ed Sheeran. I haven't got all the figures, have I?
Why not?
60.
That's unimaginable.
It is, isn't it? It's mental.
It really is.
So he's made a few quid.
Dave,
Do the math.
you might know this. Do you have to listen to a certain amount of the song to count as a play? Like if people click on it and only listen to 10 seconds, oh fucking hell, this is shit. Does that still count as like one play?
I don't know the answer to that.
We're on Spotify. I wonder if we've made any money.
No, well, obviously not.
No.
But I was intrigued as to who Snagglepuss was, because I just couldn't remember what cartoon character that was.
Wasn't it?
But I looked it up.
Yeah.
It's
The Hanna-Barbera one. You're thinking of the Cat in the Hat.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking of something else.
Snagglepuss is pink.
Like a Pink Panther kind of thing.
Yeah. It's not really a puss, is it?
It's the same puss. What did you say puss for?
What's wrong with the word puss?
No, I don't like that either.
Go on. Good to get a bit of a Svenonius chat in. Haven't mentioned him for a while, have we? So
no.
Good to get a bit of that in.
That's your main street, isn't it?
Yeah. It's my version of Main Street.
Yeah.
Every opportunity I get to mention him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just one more thing. Again, we've talked about it a lot, but the Maggie's tenor was interesting. Talked about. I thought it was interesting. They talked about the fact
about that actually,
that because people were unemployed, it meant that they could go out, which meant that the scene was created.
Gigs.
People could go out on a Tuesday or whatever because they didn't have to get up for work, which helped to create this artistic scene, right? Which is, I think, it's
that
great.
Ain't coming
it's amazing.
Back. Everyone don't think.
Really interesting.
But it was. They were quite open about the fact you still need a job. Being creative on its own is rubbish if you haven't got any money. So, most people in bands have jobs, don't they? And they do the band as their creative outlet. Whereas maybe that's not ideally how it should be, but
should be able to make a living from it.
I think there is a possible future where it could come back, but it involves our country doing very well and having more AI used correctly. Yeah,
AI is the opposite of the answer. AI is the opposite of the answer.
No, but if AI can create wealth
last night,
and because it
doesn't make any difference.
AI can't do the creative stuff. It sucks at it. It
can't
sucks
even make your face look like you're
doesn't matter. AI creates wealth. It doesn't matter. Doesn't make any difference because the wealth just goes to the owners of the AI.
He's going to go on about neoliberalism in a minute.
I am.
Yeah, but if the wealth doesn't go to the owners of the AI,
it's impossible not to. There's already enough wealth in the country. It's just going to the wrong people.
It's not impossible. I mean, after the war,
more
of the wealth went to the country, and that's how that stuff was paid for.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen again because we don't live in that political climate anymore.
Well, if there's another war,
I forgot.
Afterwards.
Your solution is have a war.
Yeah, have a big war.
In the pre-interview spiel, me and Dave forgot to talk about our burn-up last night. Went around his house. We have a bit of we light a fire, drink. Well, I drink non-alcoholic beer, and we watch Elon's satellites cruise across the evening skies.
Oh, yeah.
Starlink.
Nice.
Can you see him?
Yeah, man.
Did you try to shoot him out the sky
Quite
with your
idyllic.
catapults?
It's quite idyllic sitting at the bottom of Dave's garden, with a fire, and it's quite nice. Isn't it, Dave?
It is nice. But yeah, seeing his satellites is more sinister than ever now. He's just the more right wing he
Loads
gets.
of them. If you look up, there's loads of them moving around.
Are they really?
Yeah.
You can see them. Just dotting around.
You wouldn't see
Just
him in
watching
Tokyo
us.
because there's too much light pollution.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, not in Berwick. Not at the bottom of Dave's garden. Not yet. Not until they build the new estate there.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this one. Lungleg, Annie, Jane, thanks so much for coming on. Enjoyed that one. If you are watching, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and get involved in the comments. Let us know if you saw Lungleg live or any of the bands we mentioned. If you're listening, then write us a review. Share this with your friends so they can find the podcast. Thanks so much to this week's sponsors, Driving on the Right. Appreciate you.
Have a listen, everyone.
Go and
It's great.
check them
You'll
out.
love it.
Yeah, there'll be links in the show notes. Go and find them. Yeah, you'll definitely want to hear the new track they've got out. So go and have a listen. Buy it. Do all that good stuff.
Support independent music.
That's right. This week's other sponsor, Royal Whitby Events. Thank you very much. Go and check them out.
Cheers.
I'll put a link in the show notes. Go and check them out and go along to one of those events. If you want to sponsor this podcast, email us at stupidandcontagiousPodcast@gmail.com and we'll do a similar thing for you. See how it works. So, there you go. We can't talk about the app anymore because Dave said it's fucked.
Yeah. There's no app.
Right.
If you're new to the podcast, welcome aboard. If you're into that kind of mid-90s Glasgow scene, we've got interviews with Biss and Iresi Yatsura and Mogwai. We also mentioned Corner Shop, Mambo Taxi. We got interviews with them in the archives as well. So yeah, dig in, have a look around, subscribe and catch up, and welcome aboard if you're new. Also, there's a mixtape for every episode on Spotify. We've just been slagging it off, but we do a Spotify mixtape.
We love Spotify.
So a load of the bands that Jane and Annie talked about during the interview. Yeah.
The irony of it is, I might have to join Spotify now so that I can listen to your mixtapes. You forced me to join Spotify.
There you go. I apologise. Yeah, so a load of the bands that Jane and Annie talked about, plus, of course, a load of my favourite Lungleg tracks on there as well. So, dig in and have a listen to that on Spotify. That's me.
Will you be able to put any of Driving on the Right on the playlist?
I couldn't find it on Spotify, so no.
All right.
I'll have another look, but I don't think so. Unless it's by the time you said, maybe if it's up in the next couple of days, then yeah.
All right, we'll see. Might be some on there.
I was going to say, maybe they don't want you to put it on the playlist.
They ain't got a choice.
Well, they haven't got a choice. If it's up there, it's going on. Simple as that.
No one tells us what we can put on our playlist.
Nobody. No. Unless, they sponsor us and give us money and stuff.
Apart from them.
Those people can, yeah.
Yeah, they can, yeah. All right, that's it for this one. Join us next week for episode 112, the Stupid and Contagious podcast. Dave?
See you in a minute.